Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
And immediately everyone turns it off. They're like, I'll skip this episode. So
Cowards.
Cowards. I am joined by two very good friends who are both filthy weebs because I wanted to do an anime episode. Could be manga too. Anime manga episode. So before we dive in, we actually asked Twitter for some topics. Why don't you guys introduce thyselves? Why don't we start with you, Ash?
Shit.
Shit? Okay, let's start with you, Jay.
I'm doo-doo. I'm gonna go second.
Meanwhile, Ash can think about who she is, and Jay, you start.
I'm so deep. I'm so deep.
Hello, I'm Jay. I go by JAYPERIOR. I am a writer of sorts, but I feel like most of you will know me as the guy who's responsible for putting these podcasts together.
Jay is currently my editor. He's a very good editor, and I propose, Ash, that we just keep doing things like, oh, hold on, I gotta make a phone call, or hold on, I'm gonna just do stuff like that.
Please don't make my job harder.
Let's make this episode really hard to edit. All right, now, Ash, do you know who you are now?
I'm just very shy. Hello.
Oh, hello.
I'm actually TAHILAN, and I do storyboards for Craig of the Creek. You probably know me for all my elder shenanigans on the show, and probably the most obscure anime references in the show, too.
I just saw that Sarazanmai one, right?
Yeah!
Which I have not seen, but I'm like, damn.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
I would love to watch it. Now, why don't we just sort of dive into... I asked you two to look through the tweets and see if there's anything you wanted to discuss. So, go.
Sure, yeah. This is a tweet from a friend of mine, Steph, who asked, do you feel as a 20 to 30-something-year-old it's more difficult to get into anime/manga that revolves around a teenager protagonist? I personally don't think I do, but a friend of mine in his 30s says he can't get into stories like that anymore because he feels, quote, grown past it.
I can give my take on it.
Yeah.
I think I struggle if it's a middle schooler, like Your Lie in April, where they're like, life is... it's like you're 10 years old. Like, I can't take anything you're saying seriously. But when they're like 16, and I'm joking because, you know, I do think that's a good show, and I think the characters are actually pretty good. But I think if it's a high schooler, I remember what it was like to be a high schooler. And so instead of necessarily approaching it as like I need to relate to it as my current state of being, it gives me more of like a nostalgic feeling of like, yeah, no, I remember what it was like. It was tough being a high schooler, middle schooler too, I guess, but high schooler, like, you deal with a lot of emotions and things seem like more of the end of the world, and so for me, it almost feels like it feels nostalgic, and it feels kind of nice, like I'm rewatching Sound Euphonium right now, which is like a high school anime with, you know, band, and I was in band, and I don't need to like be 16 to relate to it. I remember what it was like, and I do relate to it on that level. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, similarly, like, high school was a melodramatic time. So whenever there are animes with like heightened scenes of high schoolers like crying and yelling at each other over whatever stupid drama, I can buy it. I believe it.
I mean, that's still your day-to-day life today, right?
Oh yeah, dude, all the time, you know. I mean,
we're like a McDonald's order or something.
Yeah. All right. Oh god, do we need to clarify that? No,
I'll clarify afterwards.
Oh my god. But I do agree, if they're a little younger, like, oh yeah, if they are in middle school, it kind of takes me out of it, because I'm like, not that I necessarily don't believe that a middle schooler could talk like that. I'm just a little like, my suspension of disbelief is just gone.
They're too eloquent, right?
Yeah.
Like Your Lie in April with like what's the main piano kid's like 10-minute monologues of life is like a pool of water rippling, and I can feel the ripples through time. Like, I don't know. When I was in middle school, I was like, I like Pokemon.
I mean, this kid's hurting for a pretty long time, actually. So, like, I can see it.
Yeah,
very deep.
How about you, Ash? What's your take on it?
It's for animes based in like high school or even middle schools. I have a hard time even realizing they are in high school and middle school. Like, I can't tell the difference. So, like, usually I tend to enjoy more high school animes, knowing or actually not knowing if they are in high school or middle school. I kind of just assume everyone's the same age, because if you're gonna act like you're 16 but you're actually in middle school, you're just fucking 16. Okay. And like, and sometimes I kind of just forget that like their actual age, so that I can just enjoy the story. I'm like, okay, these are just people who are just going through some shit, which is like your Lion April. That kid was definitely going through a lot of stuff. But when you put it into the idea,
his trauma is legitimate. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and then when you put it in his trauma, but then like when you kind of remind everybody that he's like a middle schooler, you're kind of like, yeah, man, it's tough, but also like, fuck.
Yeah, I do think though, like, I mean, so this might be like, I don't want to say like nitpicky writer brain, but kind of. It's like, for example, I think, I'm sure you know this terrible author, James Patterson. Right?
Yes.
So I've only read, back in like college for writing classes, I had to read a James Patterson novel for a class, and the way he wrote children was like, have you ever spoken to any child in your life? Like, they just talk like wisecracking adults, right? Like, that's a big problem, I think, in a lot of things, is some people just don't know how to write kids. They don't know how to write kids believably. And I think you can have characters like we keep talking about Your Lion April, but that's the only one I can think of right off the bat, where they're middle school age and they deal with, issues, but you can do it in a more, I think, believable way. A manga that we've been all reading lately because of Ash's recommendation, Our Dreams at Dusk, features a younger middle school age character who I think is much, there's a lot going on there, like, feelings wise, and, it's heavy material, but I think it feels more believable to me. And I think that's just good, better writing, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree, and I will say everyone should go read Our Dreams at Dusk. I was just telling these guys that I bought the first volume, read it, and I immediately ordered the rest to finish it. And yeah, it's super beautiful. So go check that out. Yeah, to what you're saying, I agree. It's some people just don't know or aren't in tune to what their experience is like when they were of a younger age, or they just omit it from their minds, or they just forget. It definitely comes down to who's telling the story. I'm always on watch with the second there are younger characters introduced, because I'm like, okay, like, what is there in any anime or manga? Because I'm just kind of like wondering, like, okay, like how are they gonna be, not that like wisecracking kids don't exist, and they can be funny, but sometimes they are just not, I don't know, they seem a little not human, like, for just being so unrealistic. Yeah, it's a case by case.
No, I agree with you. What about you, Ash?
I guess, like, as someone that's on a show written for kids with kid characters, I think it is something that people just have to. Well, then we can't just go out and just watch kids. Man, that sounds terrible.
Oh. Go out and watch kids. Maybe more like remember or interact. If you know kids, interact with kids, or maybe think back to child memories.
Yeah, think back to child memories. What's interesting is, like, especially nowadays, like, how pandemic is, and like, I don't know, I've been like on TikTok a lot, and there are like a lot of people in high school that I follow, or maybe are they still in high school? But the way they talk and their humor is so different compared to, like, if someone who's never tried to quote research like how kids nowadays are talking, like, it's jarring. Like, you can tell like who's actually paying attention.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to, like, I think maybe an interesting topic might be like, what are some anime slash manga where you feel like the kids are written especially well. I'll start with my favorite manga, Yotsuba. I think the kids are written very well, and I'm talking like even like Fuka, who's like high school age, down to Enna, and down to Yotsuba. Like Yotsuba's a little silly, but I've also like in my previous career, I was a English as a second language teacher, and so I taught kids from like as young as kindergarten up through high school, and honestly, pretty accurate. Like little kids are just goofy. They can be just goofy little motherfuckers, and so it's like what Yotsuba does. It's a little silly, but it's not actually out of the realm of believability for me. But especially characters like Enna and you guys have read Yotsuba, right?
Yeah.
Not its entirety, but yeah.
But like Enna and I forgot her other friend's name, but they're like like 9, 10, like a little older, and then Fuka's like 16 or something. Like those characters read very believably to me. I don't know if you necessarily agree, but I personally like how those kids are written, and I think it adds to what I like about Yotsuba, where it feels very just grounded and real, and finds the humor in just very normal situations.
Then how do you feel about a show or a manga like Promised Neverland? Those are all young kids, but their situation circumstances, that like, especially because the main three characters, Emma, Norman, and Ray, are like super intelligent or whatever, or the smartest of their house. That they like. Do you find that believable? And like for me,
how old are those kids supposed
they're
to be?
Like 12, I think.
Yeah, they're young.
Are they 12? God, they look younger. Okay, so they're 12.
I think I could be wrong.
Somebody look it up real quick.
Let me look it up because I don't think you guys are caught. Just in case there's a.
Yeah, I've only seen the first season. Ash, do you read the manga?
No,
Ash,
I only watched it.
Yeah, I only watched the first season. So
season 2's out.
that's right.
Okay, they are 11, or Emma's 11 at least, and I can't remember if Ray or Norman are older, but it's like 11, 10, 11, 12. Their other kids in the house are like younger, but
yeah, but okay, hold on. 11 is what grade is that? So
fifth
it's like,
grade, fifth onto sixth grade, depending on if there's.
It's like sixth grade, right?
Sixth grade,
maybe?
yeah.
Sixth grade. Let me think back to when I was in sixth grade. I think honestly, Emma reads very believable to me. She's not as like, I don't want to say she's not as smart, because she's smart, but something about the way she's written is she still has that earnestness and stuff that like reads believably to me as sixth grade. Oh god, what are their names? Norman is the white-haired kid, right? Yeah. What's the one who looks like Kuro?
Ray.
Ray?
Oh,
okay.
Kuro's here.
Norman is a little more believable to me. Emma's the most believable, then Norman, because he just reads like a very, responsible, just sort of 12-year-old. Ray? Is that his name? Why don't I remember these names? Ray is where I'm like, these are some Machiavellian, like, haha, I fooled you. Oh, well, I was 2 steps. Like,
right.
I don't know. It stretches it a little bit, but I think since that show is so high tension and so heightened anyway, I don't mind it. Because it's not supposed to be a slice of life anime.
Yeah.
Right? It is kids thrown into a terrifying horror, circumstance in a fantastical setting. And that's all I'm gonna say for spoilers. It's not a happy anime.
It's a food anime.
Ha ha.
It's gourmet.
And so I would say those two are a little much, but Emma actually reads okay for me.
I feel like for Promised Neverland, I think the kids work for me because they're not confined to the standards of our world rules. Our world rules. Like they're already in a fantasy setting that's kind of crazy, and they already do tests and they're already super smart. Like that's their whole thing.
Oh, I forgot about the whole they do like tests and stuff. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're a little more than just like your average kid. So like without going in too much, like I can believe that.
But let me ask you this, like, did you know any kid in 6th grade, 5th grade who would just have crazy twisty plans of like, haha, I've done this and I thought about this and I've outsmarted. Did you ever know a single kid like that? Ever?
I mean, we weren't watching anime when I was like in sixth grade. You know, maybe kids now, because they can watch anime.
Maybe kids now are just conniving motherfuckers. They're just like, they're all devious Seto Kaibas who just applaud each other. But I don't know. Not to toot my own horn. I was a pretty smart kid, like I think at the time. But even I was just too emotional as a kid to be like, I'm so cool and calculated and the omoidori, perfect plan. Like it never. That's never. I don't know. And so to me, it's like I don't mind it because again, heightened. It's a fantasy anime. And the writing's so good. Otherwise, like yeah, I almost wish. No, I do wish this a lot of the times. With most anime, it's like, can't we make these characters like 4 years older? Like, but I understand also with that one, it's more you're more protective of the characters because they're so young. You want them to be safe, and you don't want anything to happen.
Right.
Whereas if they were older, it might not feel as dangerous. What do you think, Jay? What do you think about the writing?
I mean,
like the
even
writing?
for me, like even in a like, no matter what you write in terms of like how fantastic it is, or fantastical, or high fantasy or whatever, there's still always a human element to it. Like every time I hear people be like, "Oh yeah, but this character is like a demon or something like or something without emotion," I'm like, well, that notion is still based off of the human perception of what it is like to have without emotion. So therefore, there's still a human quality to anything you create or write. Yeah, like I do think it's a little strange at times. Like do you guys remember the character Phil?
Was Phil the older one?
No, Phil was one of the younger kids. He always had like a little guppy smile.
Phil? I remember watching it and be like, oh, fuck Phil.
Phil was like, I think like 5 or 6 years old. He's way younger than them, but he was the scene the towards the end of the series, without giving anything away, like he like presented so much intelligence and like growth, which is cool.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
I think it's interesting. I do think it's a little strange. I was like, wow, that's a lot of maturity for that, a kid that old. But is it because of the circumstances of what they're living with? I'm okay with it because the setting of Promised Neverland is so insane. But there's a part of me that questions some of it.
Let's just say if this was an elementary school and these kids were talking like this, it would immediately be like, nope, that's not how kids talk. So I'm down with. I'm with you on that.
This isn't a boss baby.
How about another Twitter?
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of age, this person asked, is Ouran High School Host Club good, or was I just 15? To which I say it's absolutely good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
still one of my favorite pilots of like all time. Like the build up to that first episode is so incredible.
I have a very distinct memory of, I don't know if I binged all of it because that's long. That's a 2 core, right?
Yeah.
But like I watched at least most of it because I was sick, and I was just stuck at my desk, just sick, and I watched almost all of it in a day, and I was just having the time of my life. That show. Here's a question: best boy.
Tamaki. Excuse me.
Honey Senpai.
Okay. Can you guess mine?
Oh, is it the fucking what's his name? Kyoya? Was that his name? Glasses guy?
Hell yeah, Kyoya.
Yeah, you like your glasses.
I was gonna say it's glasses, huh?
It's not just the glasses. It's because he's the cold senpai, but who secretly always got the feelings. Come on.
No, he's a good character.
I think he's a great character.
I only choose Honey Senpai because it also means you get the other guy too, so it's like a 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, the tall guy.
Oh, Mori.
Yeah.
Mori's great.
Mori and Honey Senpai.
I was gonna say if either of you picked like the twins, I might have to have some
Okay,
words.
so as like a teen, okay, my tastes have changed when I was a teen and how I am now.
Sure.
Okay, and
Okay, let's offer the disclaimer, sure, and then go ahead.
I think there was maybe it's just how things were produced at the time. Like they just wanted to have a lot of twins, and when that's just presented from you, you're like, I guess this is good. But later on in the series, I'm kind of like, you know what? I think I like Honey Senpai because he's really cute, and also he can you get the other one too.
I will say one of the twins is, I forget which one. One of the twins is better written because it actually has substance to him. Because he has like a whole arc.
Right.
It's a Kaoru?
Ooh, I don't remember.
The other one has like nothing going on, but one of them like likes Haruhi.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a thing. But get the fuck out of here. Kyoya, even Tamaki, can destroy the twins.
So I'm gonna reveal something. I watched Ouran High School Host Clubs really late in my life. Like I watched it like in junior year of college. Because when I was younger, I was like, I don't know about this, blah blah blah. Because I want to like only watch like Naruto or some shit. What is it like? Typical battle shonen.
Have things changed?
Excuse me. I fucking love slice of life stuff, but
That's true.
But
that's true.
yeah. So after the second I finished it in college, I turned to my friend who told me to watch it, and the first thing I said to because he watched the finale, or I can't remember if he watched the finale with me, but regardless, I turned to him and I was like, "Do you want to start a club with me?" And he like immediately was like, "Are you serious?" And so we formed a host club at our
Did he propose?
college. So we formed the host club. I'll send you guys pictures later. And we formed the host club, and I told everyone who wanted to be a host, I was like, "Yo, I swear to God, if any of you use this as an opportunity to pick someone else up, I'm kicking your ass in front of everyone, and you're out of here." Our goal is to just like college is a stressful time. People have a lot of exams or whatever, or studies, or different anxieties. Like, just come here, listen to some music, have some tea and some snacks, and we just shoot the shit with them. That's all we're doing, and we dress nice. That's it. So we had a guy who brought his keyboard and would play like piano music. We would play episodes on the TV in a student lounge. And we all come in and just like, we have different teas on the menu and whatnot. I bought a bunch of fake cherry blossom petals and put it in my sleeve. And so anytime someone came, I'd be like, "Oh, welcome," and I'd wave my arm and the petals would rain on top of them. It was insane.
Was it successful?
We were the second most popular club after the culinary club in the college of that year.
It's a collab.
I don't think anyone else succeeded it, but at least to my knowledge, I don't remember. But yeah, it was.
There's only one muse. There's
only one muse. Yes, but yes, that is.
That's the most J shit I've ever heard.
Did you really put that in your sleeve? Jesus.
So to go back to, I made a comment before about McDonald's order. I'm gonna just touch on that real quick. So, just to get to know Jay a little bit better for the viewers, like Jay's he's like an anime main character come to life. He's like, I think I said this to you very recently. I was watching you play the Love Live phone game for the first time, and in that game you are the protagonist and you have dialogue, and I was like, whenever I play a JRPG or a phone game where the protagonist is in, I've never felt like related to the protagonist, what they're saying at all. But as I'm watching the protagonist lines on this, I'm like, these are all things Jay would say. Like, Jay would absolutely say all these things. I've never felt that way about any JRPG protagonist.
JRPG.
JRPG.
God damn it!
So like Jay gets very passionate about, let's say, McDonald's orders, and and if we like, let's say, make fun of him because he orders a caramel macchiato and a large fry and a McChicken and 40 McNuggets. We sometimes we like to pounce on that and go, do you need that many McNuggets, Jay? Sure you can't do like 20? And then he gets into very, very passionate, not tearful, but almost tearful arguments. Not actually. He's actually a very good sport. That's why it's fun. Otherwise, it wouldn't be any fun to make.
You forgot the bacon smokehouse, but continue.
Oh yeah, you get some ridiculous like like fucking barbecue burger on top of that. Like, damn,
you guys are making
son.
fun of me, but also don't forget the fucking smokehouse burger. on top
But also,
of it.
don't forget this detail that makes it even worse.
God damn it.
So there are just elements of Jay's life where I'm like, Jay, you're just the anime
Hey man,
protagonist.
anime
Like,
and manga has taught me a lot in life and has been a good anchor. I mean, hell, Ash. I mean, I've told you this before, Sungwon, but we told the story many times. Like Ash, I met through a very anime manga esque.
you want to tell the story real quick?
Yeah, sure. It
Our
was
origin? Oh my goodness.
yes,
Oh,
exactly,
no.
our origin. So basically, it was like my third day in California. And I texted an old friend I went to school with, and I was like, "Oh, we should hang out." And he's like, "Oh, it's my dog's birthday today. Please come by." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess it'll be like a small get together." And it ended up being like a really big party, and I didn't really know anyone, but I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm just like vibing, and I see Ash's partner Joj, and he was wearing a shirt with like a bunch of minimalistic eyes on it, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, Oyasumi Pun Pun, that manga rules. I'll go over and talk to him." I was like, "Dude, I love Pun Pun," and he goes, "I don't. This isn't Pun Pun." And so my thought was, I gotta leave this party because I'm out of myself as an absolute weeb and I'm a fool. Anime was a mistake. But then Joj said, "Hey, but my my girlfriend Ashley knows Pun Pun and that manga's really good. You guys should talk." And that's pretty much how we met.
So just to reiterate, or just to sort of cover this, like Jay decides I'm gonna go to California. Well, there was a reason, but anyway, he goes to California, doesn't know basically anybody. Just walks off to like, oh, I'm gonna go to this party. Oh, I'm gonna be one of my best friends at this party for the first time because of a poon poon encounter, accidental poon poon encounter. Some of the most anime shit, like, oh, like, Jay, you could never complain about any anime, like, oh, they introduced the characters too fast. The characters become friends too quickly. It's like, are you kidding me? You are the most, it's the most anime-ass encounter I've ever heard in my life. I mean, you want to talk about when we technically first met?
Oh my.
We don't have to.
It's over. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So I revealed this to someone later. That I actually later in our friendship, because I was too embarrassed to say. But that I.
So here's what. Let me before you tell your story. This was what I thought the first time I met Jay. I didn't know there was a secret that was being kept from me. But I believe I first met you. I just like our friend Dave, who has been on the podcast before, invited me to a thing with a bunch of people at a restaurant, and I forgot the name of that restaurant because it's closed now. But it had Japanese food, and there was this big old parfait that everyone was like, "Let's get this parfait like that and share it with everybody." But then Jay has the genius idea of mixing all the ingredients into a big, smushy, gross pile. And I was like, I'm going to get my own little parfait, thanks. And so I believe that was the first time, at least I thought. But right? Like,
yes.
Since
that was the was the first time we've encountered in California.
In California, that was the first time I encountered you. And I didn't really meet you, and then I met you kind of again at a board game thing at a mutual friend's.
Yeah.
And then you gave me a ride, and then we got to know each other better. I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Okay, yeah. And then, I've only met this guy twice, I thought. Yeah, like this guy's pretty cool. And then eventually we got to know each other better, and now we are nakama, as Steve hates to hear. Steve, sorry if you're listening. Now. But what is and then let's say fast forward into our friendship, when was the actual first time we met?
The actual first time we met was at Otakon 2016. It was the last year. It was at the I believe Baltimore location.
So this would have been what, 3 years before, maybe?
Yes.
2 years before?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was cosplaying as a Pokemon Gajinka of a shiny Mega Gardevoir with a prom style aesthetic. And I saw you just around Artist Alley, and I went up to you and I was like, "Oh, hey, you're that dude from Vine. Can we get a picture?" And he said yes, and then we took a picture. And and for some reason, as when I showed you that picture, you made a baffling pose that to this day neither of us quite understand.
Is it me? Is it me like holding my palm out, like gesturing?
Both of your palms are out, like as if you're half shrugging, but also like just like I don't know. You looked very confused. But that was technically the first time we met, and
yeah. And as soon as this was over like a Discord talk or whatever, as soon as I heard that, I was like, Jay, how dare you lie to me?
No, you.
No. It's funny. I've absolutely done the same thing with other people. Like, I did a similar thing with a friend, where I revealed to them later. I was like, I actually took a photo with you at a PAX once, like years and years ago, and they had you know, just oh that's great, you know, whatever. You know, for me, I gave you shit because I like to give you shit.
Of course.
But that's also a very anime story. It's like I was like you know how Mihawk shows up in One Piece and just kind of fucks things up and then just leaves and isn't back for like 300 episodes. That was me in the life of Jay's JRPG. I'm gonna call your life a JRPG from now on. That's great, Ash. That's absolutely.
Thank you.
God damn it.
Yeah. So I showed up, and then it's one of those Oda things, like 200 episodes later, we would become friends, and then you would work for me, and we would be recording a podcast, and this is episode 800 now.
Shit.
Anyway, you're a fucking anime protagonist. That's basically the point I wanted to make.
Anime's great, guys. Anime can build lifelong friendships.
Anime is great. Now, I would like to give... I'm going to start with Ash. I'll give either of you a chance. I like to give the guests an opportunity to bring up either a topic or ask a question if they would like. If not, I don't give a shit. Ash, do you have any topic you want to talk about or a question for either of us? Or
here's one.
Anything like that? Yeah, what's up?
What is your embarrassing formative anime experience?
Singular?
Multiple. Like for me.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for me, as a young teen, I remember being pretty edgy, and and I can say that at the time, big ass disclaimer, at the time, I enjoyed watching Elfen Lied. Now, not good, but like that was definitely
yeah.
But it was definitely like, it definitely led into things like Hellsing, which is also more edgy. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of things that we like I didn't realize until recently. Like, this was pretty formative, and I didn't realize that.
Formative in what way? Like artistically, or
I guess anime taste. Like, I guess because of stuff like Elfen Lied and that going into Hellsing, and then even then going into Higurashi. Like, I'm pretty numb to like a lot of things that are considered like super violent. I mean, like we started watching the recent season of Higurashi, and like that's pretty violent too, especially the recent episode. But like, maybe because I've watched stuff like that before, it's kind of like, well, it's not as bad as the original, which I honestly can't recommend Higurashi unless you want a long con, and I don't know if I can recommend the recent one because it feels a lot slower than the original.
Okay. So you're asking embarrassing in terms of taste, or not in taste, but like, I
guess,
you know, I'll just take the embarrassing. Well, do you want to go, Jay, or otherwise I can go?
You can go first.
I talked about this recently, but we were talking about like what anime scenes like made you emotional as a youth that were really kind of stupid. And one for me is there's a scene in Canon, which, God, I can't believe I watched Canon, but there's for those of you who've seen it, there's a scene with a fox. It's Fox, And I'm at the set. I'm gonna say at the time when I was like, I must have been what? When did that come out? 2007.
Did you watch the one from KyoAni?
KyoAni, yeah.
That one's like 2006.
Okay,
I feel like you're okay to spoil it because it's been so long.
No, I don't like spoiling.
Really don't think
it's
anyone.
like
Okay.
I'm like 15, watching this on my computer, and I just was like so emotionally distraught by this scene. Which, looking back, I'm like, come on. But at the time, I was like, oh, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I talked to you about it, Ash, and you said, yeah, you felt the same way.
Yeah, like, when you're young like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad scene. Like, I don't necessarily like blame it for like affecting me, but now it wouldn't. It wouldn't affect me now because it's canon. But
We should watch it and see what happens.
well, I just watched it just start dry heaving, just sobbing. No, I think different thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, think would it? No, it really wouldn't because the way it goes down is a little goofy. But I don't know. Let me think. Jay, do you have another embarrassing story? It can just be embarrassing animes, just
Yeah,
sort of stories.
Yeah, I know you avidly hate this anime, and I can't say it stands the test of time because I haven't revisited it. But when Code Geass was airing, I was super into it. I was super into it, and there's a couple of emotional episodes in season 2, but there was one in particular that like I remember very vividly sitting in my bedroom and like sobbing and screaming at my laptop.
Which episode?
Oh, man.
It's the episode. Do I spoil it? Do I just explain it or?
You can type it.
I
I was like, you're gonna break your own rule 5 seconds later.
No,
okay.
type it in the Discord.
Okay.
Who the fuck was this again?
Oh my god.
Hold on, don't spoil it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember this at all.
See,
okay.
yeah, and that's totally fair. But the reason, there's something about it, because okay, so without spoiling things, we talked about.
I'll just say it's a character death.
Yes, it's a character death, but again, for me, death in animes in manga is, yes, it's sad, but for what hits me more is when characters have regret in their last moments, or just in general. And so this character, like both characters, had a form of regret, and the other one ended up confessing that, you know what, they didn't regret anything at all. And that like hit us, like struck a chord with the main character and myself. And I was like, oh shit. Like to like be able to like, I don't know, go peacefully is so it just, at the time I remember it hit me real hard. Is Code Geass good now? I don't think so.
I'm gonna break the rule. Hey guys, if you don't want Code Geass spoilers,
to avoid spoilers, please skip ahead just a bit past the 40-minute mark.
This character, I barely remember this character. She died. By the way, the character is okay. If you've skipped now, right? Last chance. Skip now. Shirley, like she dies. What happens?
It was the
I haven't finished it. I don't know, so I'm like, oh.
In season 2, Shirley, it's like Lelouch is being attacked by Jeremiah, the guy, the orange guy. Yeah. And like Lelouch successfully convinces him to on his side, and he's actually at the same time Shirley's been kidnapped. That's why he's been trying to like, they're running around a train station or whatever. And Shirley was shot, and like Lelouch is like constantly using his Geass command to like, oh, live, I command you to live. And she's saying like, Shirley's last moment, she's saying like, you know, I always felt like, you know, that that there was something between us. Like I always kept forgetting that I loved you, because he originally, you know, season 1, he erased her memory.
I see. Erasing the memory, right?
Right, but Jeremiah's, you know, Geass was canceling Geass commands, so he basically restored her memory, and she kept remembering every time he canceled her or erased her memory. And her last moments was saying like, you know, I don't regret loving you, even though like I kept hurting every time. And I was just like, oh shit. And I do remember being like, who shot her? Who knows? And like people were saying, I remember like being on forums and people were like, it's probably Rolo, his fake brother. And I was like, yeah, no, Rolo's a good guy. He wouldn't do that. And literally the first second of the next episode, Lou's just like, Rolo, did you do this? Like, yeah, I shot her. And I'm just like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Was
And
Rolo
then
a little shithead, little bitch?
He's the one that was like
Is that the green haired
No,
one?
he was in season 2. He was the replacement of Nanali. He like Lulu. She's like, where's my sister? I've never had a brother, and no one remembers his sister.
Oh, this kid sucked.
Yeah. So
also, this anime sucks. So I don't care about any of this shit.
That's fine.
I honestly thought you were gonna say that you like to walk around with your hand in front of your face, being like you're super deep, and I was gonna be like, same. But since you didn't say,
Wait,
that,
like I'm like a Chunibyo or something, like
Look, there is some kind of appeal to it where you put your hand in your face. I'm like,
look, I've had some Chunibyo experiences. Like,
whoa, we'll get into this in a second. Ash, I'm sorry. In what age were you putting your hand in front of your face? Was this yesterday or
to be? I mean, it's every day, right? I mean, I feel like I remember when I was puke. I might as well be puking. Peak.
We're puking now. No,
I'm puking now. Peak Chuni probably when Naruto came out. I think that was like a lot of people because I'm gonna be honest. I had a headband.
Ooh, shit! I never owned a headband.
I had a headband too. But I never ran around because that's a bit going too far. But I did wear it around school, and then we had a conference.
When you say put your hand in front of your face, what do you mean? Like a JoJo thing or like Yohane
like Lush
or Lelouch?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about then. Okay. Wow.
So that's interesting you bring up the Naruto
Always been a
headband
weeb.
because I didn't get a headband, but I definitely did the Naruto run in gym class.
Yeah. Let's go.
I was
my
convinced it would make me
God.
faster. Like I remember this is when I was living in Korea and because that's when I discovered Naruto. The first time I discovered Naruto, I was in Korea and I was like, fuck, I don't know Korean at all at the time. And I'm just gonna watch whatever's on TV, and what they showed was a Naruto episode of Rock Lee versus Gaara. That was my first exposure to Naruto, and I'm like, whoa! And everyone knows that scene is legendary. Even if you don't like Naruto anymore, it's the peak. But yeah, and so I remember we were playing Duck Duck Goose as a fun game in in middle school in Korea, and then they're like, okay, Duck. I was like Duck Duck. Or someone tagged me like Goose, and the second I ran, I was like, come on, Jay. Everyone's like, you can get it. You can get him, Jay. And I'm running around, and then I had my arms lean back because I thought I could catch up, and like the person was like, the judge. He was like, what are you doing, Jay? Okay. Like, all right. Keep playing, I guess.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
I guess we can both say that Naruto is formative.
Naruto's formative.
You know how I make fun of you, Jay, by saying you're like 10 years younger? You're not actually 10 years younger. It's like what's the age? Like 4-year gap? How old are you?
We are 3 years apart, I think.
3 years apart. How old were you in this point?
11 or 12.
Okay, so this is where the actual age gap comes into play. Because when I was watching Naruto, I was in high school. And if I was doing a Naruto run in high school, that's asking for an ass kicking right there. That's asking for a real ass kicking. You're allowed to get away with it because you were 3 years younger and like an elementary school or whatever.
Oh man!
So you might as well be 10 years younger than me or whatever the fuck. That is asking for a beating.
Look, Jay. See, we're kids. We did really bad Naruto things when we were kids. I think talking about this unlocked like a new memory. I was like, oh,
Do you have a new memory? Do you have one now?
You know whenever they did the jutsu hands up?
Yeah.
I did that so much as a
hell
kid in
yeah.
high
Oh
school.
my god.
Yeah, let's go.
Yo, I still know Chidori's hand sign.
Yeah, same. It's muscle memory now. It's like learning the
I'm gonna
heart.
go.
It's like
I think
This is fun.
Bye. It was
Thanks for
fun.
having
Yeah,
us.
this has been fun. I'm gonna remove you guys from Discord. Now let me. Ash, how old are you? We're like the same age, right? Or I don't know actually.
Let's have a guessing game for 5 seconds. Go guess.
Are you older than me? Do you know how old I am?
I don't.
Okay, you guess first. How old do you think I am?
26.
What?
Whoa.
We
Wait, Ash, you know how old I am, right?
You're like what? 13?
God damn it.
Okay.
27.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so that's so interesting. You think I'm 26, but so you think, are you 28?
I'm 31.
You're 31. Okay.
31.
You get a second guess at me.
28.
I am 30.
Look,
I'm 1 year younger than you. Although, so we're like about the same age then.
Oh, my birthday just passed, so like.
I see.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we are the same age then. Yeah.
Wait, when was? Oh yeah, wait. What? Yeah, my birthday was not that long ago either. So we're probably around. Yeah, we're about the same age.
Yeah,
anyway.
we're 90, baby.
So you don't have an excuse.
Yeah.
You just did this. In fact, you have less of an excuse because
And
you're older than me. Got it.
and I have made anime clubs for my high school and college.
Oh, I know about this.
So-
Which that's awesome.
I am Queen
That's
Bee.
great. Yeah. Let me think of some like any cringy shit. Oh, I've talked about this before, at least to Jay. Do either of you put yourselves in anime openings?
Hell, myself? No. OCs, yes.
You do your OCs. I used to do my OCs too, but I'm talking about yourself. Ash, have you ever done this?
Definitely OCs, but like,
But
but I probably definitely listened to the song while walking, like on my tiny little iPod or whatever I had, walking home from school, and then like trying to remember what they do in the opening and try to like act it out.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly.
Then
I'm
yeah,
talking
probably.
exactly that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I not only did I never actually like did it like with my body or anything, but I definitely, maybe even to this day, maybe even a little bit.
Yeah, any particular opening themes that vibing with you?
Oh, fuck you. Let me think. I don't know. Maybe it's different because like you guys have OCs still, and I don't really have any current OCs or anything. Like when I used to write fan fiction, I used to do that with like fan fiction characters I had, like the old ProZD Koopa. But now I think because like now that I act and have done like, so it's either I imagine like myself in like because I've been in like in Anime Crimes Division, we did like anime openings with live action. That was a lot of fun. So it's like I can imagine myself in like a thing, or like of maybe a character I voice. I don't know. Like whenever I see either me or a character I voice in an anime style thing, I always get like super pumped about it. Like with like the blur for Craig of the Creek, he has like a little title card or whatever. I was very hyped about that. Or like in OKKO, like the whole like the wacky Jaxies like scroll of all the characters. I was like, oh man. I mean, that whole episode is just like living out anime for kids dubbed dreams. But so yeah, I definitely have that even to this day. Like, by the way, I'm just watching Ash draw because earlier we had her open it for like test recording and stuff, stream, and I'm just like, it's very relaxing watching you draw reactions.
This is it's looking good. I have one more Chunibyo thing.
Of course you do. What is it?
Also, when I was living in Korea, discovering anime and blah blah blah, reading manga for the first time, I was really into Death Note. Like I'm sure some people were when they first discovered Death Note.
Yeah.
I really want to be L, so I would stop wearing. So I would stop wearing socks. I would sit like with my feet on the chair. And my mom was familiar with Death Note enough. She was like, "Please, you're not L. You're too dumb to be L." And I'm just like, no, mom. And I'm picking up
too dumb to be L.
And so,
roasted.
I'd pick up my silverware and be very strange with them, And I am a pretty active tennis player. And the only reason I got into tennis was because the episode of Light and L playing tennis. And I was like, whoa.
My God.
This
I mean,
is...
you started a host club because of Ouran host club, so I'm not surprised.
I honestly, because I'm not physically, I'm not big into like, sports, even though I love sports anime. I was like in Korea, I was the tallest and worst player on my basketball team. But I picked up tennis because I was like, I really like the mind games that that was featured in the Light and L stuff. But I was like, oh, it still definitely applies to when you're actually playing tennis, like, trying to read where someone's gonna hit and where you should move next and yada yada yada. But yeah. Formative Chunibyo experience thanks to L from Death Note. Is that a sigh of disappointment or approval or
more the former. I feel like you've collected a lot of ass kicking debt, and I need to like kick your ass for some of those. But no, it's fine. No, it's approval as well because listen, this is a safe zone. It's time to be honest.
Right. And the second the recording's over, then the ass kicking begins.
I'm trying to think any other embarrassing like. I don't know. I didn't really do any like, people say they like Naruto ran. Any of that would have been like elementary school, like, and it wouldn't have been Naruto. It would have been like Young and like Pokemon stuff. Like that was, but everyone was doing that. Or like, I think maybe I just was too not shy, but I just didn't. I was maybe not as free as you were, Jay. I couldn't run around and at age 11 doing Naruto runs. Although I wouldn't have been. What would the equivalent like? Ash, what was on in around 2001? That would have been like our Naruto. Would that have been still like Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh? Something like that.
I just actually looked it up recently. We were talking about it with some other people, and I think Beyblade was just came out. Like the original Beyblade came out in 2001.
I never watched Beyblade.
Let her rip, bruh.
I'm familiar.
I think
was that on cable?
Yeah.
I didn't have cable. I think at that time,
or
maybe I did. I just thought it looked stupid. I don't know.
It was definitely on one of the channels that like it was technically free, but then you had to like wake up really early, and also the channel was kind of fucked up, so you can only see it with like bands all around it for some reason. That was my experience.
I see. What I would like to do actually, go to the Twitter thread, one of you, and a lot of people just wrote like a show, right?
Uh-oh.
I kind of want to do like a rap, like not a like a little rapid fire, just like throw out a show. We all give our opinion on it real quick. Just like you can even say like out of 10, or you can say just like good, bad. Give it maybe a reason. I think this could be fun.
Okay,
so
I'll pull it up.
We're doing mini reviews. Let's see.
Yeah, I mini reviews. Have you not done this with me before? I've definitely done this with like Dave and I have done this sometimes. Just going through like, what do you think of this one? Yeah. So I want to do it. Definitely want to do it for this.
Okay, Shirobako, amazing.
Fucking amazing. 10 out of 10. Like one of the best looks into the anime industry ever.
Love it. 10 out of 10. We're actually we're watching with some other people actually who are in the industry, like animation industry, and it hurts for them. And watching it, I was like, wow, look at it go. So it's like we're getting like a different experience, especially since some people who are also watching with us aren't in animation, so they're just like basically watching two different shows going on at the same time as they hear us like complain.
I don't know if I've talked to you about this, Ash, but animation industry I'm not in, but the voice acting side, even though it's not as heavily featured, but Shizuka's storyline, oh my god, it resonates. Oh my god, it hurts. Like, I always describe, there's this one scene in Shirobako, because Shirobako, for those of you who don't know, it's about 5 girls who in high school, they're like, we're gonna make an anime together, we're gonna join the industry, and then smash cut to like, I don't know, like 3 years later, and they're just like
Tired.
fuck,
Yeah.
fuck our lives.
Surprise!
And it's a really like genuine look at the industry, both good and bad. But one of them wants to be a seiyuu, or Japanese voice actress, and there's a scene where Shizuka is watching like a YouTube clip or a TV interview or something with like a really well-known seiyuu who's like just super like, oh yeah, like I'm so happy to be working on this, and you know I've been like, you're really busy. Oh yeah, I've been working on so much stuff, and she just goes, she's like covered in a blanket, like in the dark, going, must be nice. Like that was absolutely me in like I want to say 2013, 2014. Like you know, I think at that point I had done like some indie game stuff, but it was like, must be nice, like watching like, you know, interviews of voice actors and stuff. Like her, oh man, just that whole storyline is, God, it hurts. I love that show. Next show. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, honestly, I feel like I still feel that currently. Like, I don't know how many of your listeners actually follow like cartoon stuff, but like there's a lot of anxieties that go around with, even if you're in it, like there's still some kind of like, I don't want to say responsibility, but there's definitely pressure. Like when you see all your other friends get like awards or get nominated, and sometimes I feel kind of like, should I be doing that? Am I not doing more? And you know, I still feel like the character in Shirobako sometimes, where she's just kind of like, must be nice, but do I really need that, or am I just putting more pressure on myself?
Oh no, absolutely. I still feel that as well. If like, you know, other voice actors, because they love to, some voice actors love to go on about what they're, you know, all the stuff they're doing. It's like, yeah, no, sometimes like, no, it would be nice if I could, like, if I had a shot to like audition for that or go for that. But I think for me, I'm at a point now where I cannot complain. So it's just, for me personally, it's like I just have to go, yo, you gotta just appreciate like what you're doing right now. Like,
yeah,
like you like 8 years ago would be like, what the fuck are you complaining? Like, are you? I would murder 10,000 people to do what, you know, get. So for me, it's like, yeah, no.
I get you. As someone who is like halfway into the industry, you guys are familiar, because like, and for those who aren't, I'm a writer, but on things that probably you guys will never see, because I'll sell a lot of stuff, sell a lot of pitches, but none of them ever see the light of day. And so sometimes I wonder, I'm like, oh, am I not working hard enough? But I feel like, you know, high school or college me would be so proud of where I'm at right now and what I'm up to, even if I don't feel that way.
Dude, I've said this to you, like, first off, I think it's only a matter of time. Until
I appreciate that.
No, but I've told you, I don't tell this just to tell people. Like, if I really don't think someone will, I won't tell them this, because it's not necessarily a nice thing to say if you don't believe in somebody. But I do believe in you. But secondly, it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you've had some crazy, like, good shit. Like, you know, comparative to other people, yeah, I think it's a healthy thing to look, like, you know, I think everybody's always going to want more creatively, right? They're like, oh,
yeah.
what
Totally,
but I want to achieve this and achieve this and achieve this. But it's like, I don't know, just think, and it doesn't have to be just career stuff, but just think back, like, you know, 10 years ago, and like, I don't know, like, for me, not just my career, but like, you know, friends, like, you know, just well, I mean, I'm married now, like, you know, to the girl I had a crush on.
Oh my god.
But it's just like, you know, there's a lot of things where it's like, yeah, you need to just really appreciate any good positive changes, and they don't have to be creative or professional or whatever. Just you know,
yeah,
appreciate that shit, because it's very easy to like take it for granted, or just kind of keep going and go, oh, I'm not this. It's like, who cares? Like, you know, just focus on what you got, basically.
Yeah, focus on now. Usually, whenever
Yeah.
I get bummed out, I always think about like my younger self would be like so fucking stoked.
Yeah, you're working on you're on Craig of the Creek, dog, which is a great show, and you're doing great work on it.
Oh my god, stop, but don't.
Oh, stop.
Stop, but keep going.
Everyone go watch Craig of the
Fucking
Creek.
Miku-
It's a phenomenal show.
It is a phenomenal show, but I was going to fucking Miku Shiba over here. From
Oh, yeah.
Throw us another anime. Let's keep going.
Attack on Titan. I'm happy for the fans, but I don't care for it.
I've only seen season 1. I thought that was like a solid 8 or 8, and I thought it was fun. I hear it gets worse though, but I would like to watch more.
Quality seems like I haven't seen like the last season, but like starting to watch like the final chapter, the one that's airing right now. It's very pretty still, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but like it's just questionable content, you know.
Yeah.
I give no comment.
Beastars, beautiful show, huge step for what 3D animation could look like, and just amazing story.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10. I fucking loved it. I watched it in one sitting. I loved the characters, love how it looks. Blah blah blah, but manga's better. Whatever. I love how the anime looks, and I thoroughly enjoyed the themes and the characters. Just an absolute joy. Every time I I think I put Beastars. Not I think I put Beastars on my top 10 anime of last year I watched, and like it was pretty high on my top 50, which that always changes anyway. People are like, why Beastars? Because it's fucking good. Fuck you. And also, I got some furry blood in me, even if a little bit. Fuck you.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Put it on Twitter.
That's fine.
Beastars is amazing. I like it a lot. Not only it's just like a huge step for 3D animation and what it could be. Come on, America. Look what they're doing. It looks so much better. Try it out, maybe. And like it's also written by a woman, so it's also like you can tell,
yeah.
Especially the way they write Haru. It's just really good.
Yeah, for sure. Going back, I think that's a good point. Like, I think a lot of manga that's written by women, I'm just gonna say, a lot of them are just so much better.
Yeah,
because it's like you can tell when like the female characters are written by women, and not just female characters, but like especially with female characters. It's like I think a lot of female characters suffer in male mangaka stuff by being underwritten or being very flat. But going back to the furry shit. I was on a charity stream for like a One Piece charity stream, and the One Piece podcast guys were doing Jeopardy. And let me ask if either of you know this question. Do you know the name of the nurse squirrel mink?
Oh.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think.
We talked about this before.
Probably. If you don't know, do you know?
No, I don't think so.
What is it, Ash?
Are we talking about Minerva Mink?
We're talking about One Piece.
Oh, I was like, are we talking about like cartoons? Like, is Minerva sexy?
We're talking about. I said I was on a One Piece charity stream, and the One Piece podcast.
I'm sorry. I don't think I even got there.
This is Weeaboo Taku. What are you doing? Why are you bringing?
Look.
Yeah, what are you doing? So I assume you don't know this character then.
I don't know, but you can go off.
The character's name is Tristan. And the only reason I know this, I said on the stream, is because this character is hot. I was like, I'm gonna be honest. That's the only reason why I know this character, because this character is hot. All right, hit us. What's next?
Welcome to the NHK. I loved it while I was watching it. I haven't revisited it, but it holds a special place in my heart at the time. So
that's what I need to watch all the way through. I only watched a couple when I was younger, couldn't get into it, but I think I would like it a lot more now.
I would say if you're gonna be into, well, first off, Tristan's really cute. I just looked her up. Adorable.
Hey, isn't she?
She's very, very cute. For NHK, you get 3 different experiences: the anime, manga, and novel. 3 different feelings. I personally I watched the anime first. I like the horrifying anime song they play in the first episode. It's like one of my favorites. But like I think out of all 3, I do enjoy the manga a little more because it's it goes a little crazier and it goes a little farther than the anime. So unfortunately,
Okay.
you can't really find it anywhere. I think they sell it digitally on like I think I don't know whatever platform they have on it now. Whatever Viz has it, because Viz now has the license to a bunch of Tokyo Pop stuff. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah, I
What's
like it. If
next?
you want to depress time, you can go watch NHK.
Silver Spoon, masterpiece.
10 out of 10. Speaking of main character Jay,
Oh god.
Hachiken from Silver Spoon is actually Jay. Like, for those of you, if you want to really know what Jay is like, go read or watch Silver Spoon, because it's like a biography of like what if Jay went to farm school. Like, I have never seen a character where every chapter I'm like, this is Jay. I mean, this is exactly Jay. But I think it's a masterpiece. I think the anime is great, and the manga, which finishes it, it's just. Have you read it yet?
I still
Jay?
need to. I'm sorry.
Jay, next, make it your next thing if you can. I can let you borrow it, and I never let people borrow things.
Oh shit!
I hate have I talked about this?
No.
I hate letting people borrow stuff because I hate when people are like, yeah, I'll read it, and they don't do it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I hate that. So it's like, if I'm gonna let you borrow something, it's like, you have to start reading this. I'm going to check in, and if you're not gonna do it, I'm going to ask for it because I have had too many bad experiences of somebody like, I'll borrow it, and then a year goes by, and I'm like, It's like a friend of ours like let somebody borrow One Piece, right? And then like I was like, I want my One Piece back.
Right,
you know,
right.
That's sort of same thing. I will consider letting you borrow it if that's what will make it easier for you to get through it. But either way,
if it is in my hands, I will absolutely read it though. Like,
okay.
You don't have to worry about that. So,
Silver Spoon, it's magnificent. And I cannot wait for Jay to read the manga, because the manga hits so hard. It's so
How many
good.
volumes is it?
Let me turn around and look at my shelf. It is 15.
Oh, okay. I've only watched it, and like I really like watching it.
Well, yeah, I love the anime, but the only thing is the anime doesn't finish it, and the ending, and not just the ending, but the final sort of like stretch that the manga does cover has such good stuff in it that, I mean, in a perfect world, the anime would have covered it, but we don't have that. So, read it and just if you love the show, you're gonna love the rest of it. 10 out of 10.
If you're a lost teen or like a person who's just like, I don't know what to do in my life, go watch some Silver Spoon. Go have fun.
Hell yeah.
Fullmetal Alchemist 2003.
Oh god, I need a whole podcast. I may.
I can skip this. All right.
No. I'll give my quick take on it. I think the 2003 FMA anime does some things okay, or some things well. It does some emotional beats very well, and there are some genuinely like, good moments in it. However, I think it's an absolute train wreck of a story. I think it's an absolute disservice to the original source material, which I think the manga is a 10. I think Brotherhood is an 8. 9 at its best, but an 8 overall. And I would say the 2003 FMA is, if I'm going to be completely fair, like my rash decision is like 3, but if I actually think about it, it's like a 5 seems like a lot. 4 point.
You're struggling so
Struggling.
hard.
I really hate it. Like, it's like, and so it's like I cannot give it like a 3 because it still has the DNA of FMA, right?
Right.
It has like some good stuff, but the story's a disaster. I think it's like, it just ruins so much about what makes the original so good. I think it's a disaster. So I'll just say that. Maybe I'll have like a podcast episode dedicated to like things I hate or something. We'll get into that later. But
we're gonna make you hate watch shit.
God, what do you guys think though?
2003 FMA is interesting. It is definitely strange. I do have to give it to the staff for trying to be as creative as they can to come up with a story for a manga for the source material that wasn't finished. I think the follow-up Conqueror Shambhala movie was really nice. Personally, I thought there was some neat bits about it. Not that I don't think it's messy, but hey, eye patch Colonel Mustang is a good look.
That is the stupidest. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, it's I if you had to choose one or the other, I would tell people Brotherhood. So
I'm gonna say this. People go, oh, but they had to. They ran out of material. No. They start the filler very early.
They do. They
do. When they don't need to,
Oh.
and start doing dumbass filler very early, and then make those characters part of the important canon. It's bad, man. Anyway, Ash, what do you think?
I haven't watched all of either. I remember watching what I could on Cartoon Network back in the day, and I enjoyed that. But I don't think I ever got to the whatever a filler was. But then when I started to watch Brotherhood, I was really put off in the beginning because I know they're trying to compress everything that they did from the first run into short like one episodes. But I feel like that itself kind of messed me up because I didn't like how they did that, and I was like, I don't want to watch
agree.
this.
I agree. Why don't you read the manga?
You told me that, and I bought that box set, and it's like behind me right now, and I guess I should probably do that sometime soon.
It sounds like Ash. You could never let Ash borrow anything from you.
Oh, I'm never letting you borrow anything in my life. That's fine.
That's fine. I can buy it.
You need to read it. Oh, I agree with you 100%. That's why Brotherhood's an 8, right? That first chunk is clumsy. It's clumsy, and
Yes.
it's not as good, for sure. Once it hits its stride and it starts getting to the original manga material, it hits, and it only gets like after a certain point, it's like pretty equal. It's never gonna be as perfect because the manga just has some stuff that they just didn't put in the anime, but it's excellent after a certain point. I think for people who have not seen the 2003 anime though, for them they don't usually have a problem. Everyone who has no point of reference, whether it's the manga or the original 2003, the 2003 anime, they seem to think it's fine. So anyway, Ash, please read FMA, please. Just
I will.
Please read it soon. And Jay, please read Silver Spoon. We'll talk about this after. Now, keep going. Let's keep going.
Yuri on Ice. Beautiful. Amazing. Great.
I should go back and give this one another shot. I watched a couple. No. I watched a couple. I thought it was fun, but I really didn't like the pacing. I thought the pacing was way too fast.
Okay.
So I would like to actually go through and watch this properly. I have not seen it all the way through.
I think Yuri on Ice, from the feelings I had, maybe because at the time I was group watching it with a bunch of people who are super hyped with it, so that probably also influenced like me liking it more. I think it's really good. There are definitely some weird animation issues I have with the show, but like for what they could have done making a LGBT positive show at 2015, 2016 in Japan, I think it was a turning point, because I feel like without Yuri on Ice, we probably would not have as much shows like that, especially coming out of Japan. But everyone should watch it because it's also very funny, and it may seem a little like queerbaity too, because you never see a lot of what they can do together. But there's a lot of like restrictions that they probably have to follow as well. But those are my thoughts.
I know this is a subject that's a little wonky. Let's go on. But maybe touch on it a little bit. The idea of queerbaity stuff. Like, I understand the frustration, right? Because it's like, obviously, if I had my way, there would not be quote unquote queerbait, but it'd just be like straight up, canonically gay, right? Like
Yes.
very clearly so, right? Part of me though is like, especially with, you know, Japanese culture at the time, and you know, I mean, now it's getting much better, right? Now we're getting actual, you know, gay representation, trans representation with characters in anime. But with stuff, let's say a couple of years ago or whatever, where it was, let's say maybe much harder to get that stuff in at all. Do you think, even if it's quote unquote queerbait, is it better to not have it at all? Or is it like, at least they're like trying? I'm just curious. Like, I know this is a kind of a, like,
it is very
topic.
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can figure out whether or not we cut it or not.
But hey, no, you know what? If you're not comfortable,
it's fine. I have thoughts on it. Like, I think because of where, you know, because Japan is not exactly friendly to queer culture yet, at least like not to like this current point. Like,
sure.
I think there's still some of that in anime now, but I think for me personally, like, if the main character is obviously actively liking like the person in front of us, I personally don't think that should be considered queerbaiting. It will be queerbaiting if they turn around and say, actually, they don't. I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks. But I guess it depends how certain characters are written, because there are definitely some shows that are like, it's a whole bunch of like, will they, won't they, and will they actually tell us? And like, there's some shows that we watched recently where it's like, there's no way they're gonna play with us, or unless they do, and you know, sometimes that's all we get, and that's how. Unfortunately, that's the state of things right now. We will take our crumbs, and then we will eventually enjoy when we have full meals.
Yeah, I think. Well, Jay, what do you think?
I'm on that same plane. Because it's difficult, right? They have their own social climate that, you know, that's very different from a lot of more progressive shows here and productions. And like, oh, when they use the term, oh yeah, like, you know, will you be my friend, right? And then for us, you know, from our perspective of we're always just kind of like, oh, well, clearly they mean something more. But it would be nice to get the gratifying you know, from the actual show itself or manga or whatever, where they're just kind of like, no, like, you know, I am gay and I like you. Like, that would be nice. But like I said, like, we just I think it's we gotta take our scraps, and someday we're reaching that point. We're reaching that point to I believe
definitely getting better.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think even if it's crumbs, it's like, well, at least there are crumbs, right? I don't know, but you know, this is obviously like, you know, everyone's gonna have very different opinions about this. But I think it's clear that we all want, you know, more representation. Like, that's not.
Oh, hell yeah.
If we could have our way, it would be, you know, much more all the time. But yeah, no, I just thought it's an interesting thing. Like, I've also read a lot of articles like about certain shows or whatever, which I won't talk about what shows, but like it's always a very interesting topic to me. Anyway, let's continue. What else we got?
My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like if people who know me, they know I fucking love My Hero. I love reading it. I don't have as much fun watching it. Mostly because I'm a big fan of the mangaka Horikoshi instead of like the whole production of the show. I think the show is doing a very solid like 8 out of 10 job. But I you know, not to be that kind of person, but I do get pretty disappointed when I see the translation and not like literal translation like dialogue, but also just how it visually looks, because Horikoshi's art is just, I think, very fun to look at. It's not a perfect show by any means. Maybe because I relate to him because we were similar-ish in age of when we started our careers, that kind of just like I like seeing his growth. And and also Gentle Criminal is the best character. Come on.
I was waiting.
That guy's a criminal, and he should go to jail.
Oh my god! All right, your thoughts?
I think My Hero. I don't read the manga. I watch the anime, and here's the thing with a lot of manga anime that are adapted from manga, and I'm guilty. I'm absolutely guilty of this. Like, if you don't read the manga, the anime, you're like, this is fucking great. And so sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't want to read the manga because then I don't have something to compare it to, right? And I can enjoy the anime on its own terms. I love the My Hero anime. I think it's like a solid. I think it's a solid 8, and when it's really good, it can get to a 9 for me. Like it gives me the same fun feelings of like good Naruto, that sort of feel like what I used to like Naruto. So, and because it's Bones, I love just something. The music is so good because it's the Haikyuu guy.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I mean, I know you're the biggest My Hero. You want to kiss all the characters or whatever.
Not Mineta, but continue.
But listen, I would look at One Piece.
Yeah,
I mean, now One Piece is better, but One Piece, the biggest shonen anime of all time, for years and years and years, had the worst. Like, it's just the worst translation imaginable.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, man, can it really be that much worse? Because One Piece can show us how bad a translation from manga to screen can be. Whereas in My Hero, as someone who doesn't read it, maybe I will one day, but I enjoy not knowing what happens next. Like in the next, I like being in suspense and kind of just enjoying it as it is. I used to, when I was a kid, if I caught up with Naruto, I would read ahead. Bleach, I read ahead. And One Piece, I stuck with for a long time to not read ahead. But then Dressrosa was so bad, I just read ahead. Not Dressrosa the arc, but the anime version of it. Maybe a little bit of both. But
that was bad anime.
Yeah. But My Hero, I love the anime. Everyone, it's like Beastars. Whenever I mention, I love My Hero. They're like, oh, My Hero. It's like, fuck you. My favorite anime is Chihaya Furu. I have anime cred. It's like, I just think it's a fucking good time. It's a lot of fun, and I'm always excited when a new season comes out so I can see what happens and watch Deku become more of a cop. All right, Ash, your turn.
My idea for My Hero that it should just be the show about Mirio and Tamaki.
What are they doing? What are they doing in that anime?
Being really domestic, hanging out. If there was, I honestly think if, like, I haven't watched all of My Hero, but I feel like if My Hero was more slice of lifey, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like if it stayed in its slice of life form, because I know it does it sometimes, but not all the time, and I wish it wasn't so dramatic.
Interesting. I like both angles, actually. I like when it gets dramatic because I think sometimes it needs more stakes. And
yeah,
amongst my friend group, no one likes the Overhaul arc. I think I'm like the only person who likes the. I know in the major fan base, people like the Overhaul arc, but I'm surrounded by anime snobs like myself. We're like,
oh my god, you're becoming mainstream.
Like, I like that arc a lot.
Yeah.
I think it has brings a lot of like stakes to it that it needed. And with that said, I love the Gentle Criminal arc right after with the slice of life music stuff. Like, I think I love both. But
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the next one?
Here's an interesting one. This person just asked, like, what are some best opening and ending themes?
This may need to be
its own thing. Okay. That's totally.
I could seriously talk about that for like, and I'm actually gonna write down like.
Please bring us
just
back.
from this episode alone, anime openings, endings, and then anime I hate. Those might be like separate podcast episodes entirely. Let's just say I have a lot of feelings, as you know, about anime openings.
Yep.
Let's save that for another one.
Yeah, because there you have to talk about the ones that you imagine yourself in.
Oh God. Okay.
You haven't even told me. I want to know. So
we'll save it. We'll save it. I want to know too. I want to know.
I don't know if that's going. Okay. Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, and in trade, we'll talk about anime openings we thought about for OCs. So
that's not an equivalent exchange at all. But continue. What's the next title?
Love Live School Idol Project.
Oh man, I feel like that could be its own episode. But I will say, you go first. You go first.
As someone who is an OG Idolmaster stan, I avoided Love Live for the longest time because I just really missed Idolmaster. And for me, I didn't play the games or anything. The knowing about the characters and why they want to be idols is like a big plus for me. Or in any series, I just love passionate characters. So watching School Life Idol Project the anime was such a huge surprise. It blew me away. Absolutely love it. Written by Juki Hanada, who is also written for Sound Euphonium, Steins Gate, which is my favorite anime. He just does a good job just making me really care about these girls wanting to be idols. And now I'm playing the game. I have all this context and having a great time.
Do you think you'll ever like Love Live more than Idolmaster?
I think to me they're like two different categories because like if objectively, Love Live is a much more compelling series.
Oh, interesting.
But
okay.
There are some key moments and characters from Idolmaster, the OG Idolmaster, that really like that is like cemented as a core memory almost.
Would you say they are equal in your heart? Or would you say Idolmaster is still the stronger one in your heart?
Love Live is the more fun one in my heart. But but in terms of like, do I love them both? Like Idolmaster, like I will. That's like like no one can ever forego Gen 1 Pokemon designs, right? But people will still love like a Gen later. Like they're like, oh yeah, I love this just as much, or if not, close to Gen 1, right? So, that's kind of how I see it.
Okay. As someone who played the games for years and became very invested in Love Live and had not watched the anime because I thought the anime was going to be bad, if I'm being totally honest, or like not, or like whatever, I was so surprised by how good the anime was. And right now, we watched all of the original Muse stuff, which I thought was great. That was like a 8 to 9 out of 10, depending on the season. Sunshine, we're in the middle of. That hits good. I'm like, I think it's even better than the previous.
Better than Muse? Oh man, I only watched the Muse one.
Sunshine is like hitting really well. So I haven't finished all of it yet, but it may be a better show than the Muse stuff by the end of it. I want to see where it lands. So I'm just saying, as someone who loved Love Live, I'm loving even more about it in a new way. It's been great. How about you, Ash?
I, as someone who's also an Idolmaster stan, Makoto-chan is best. I think I only played the Muse version of the game when it first came out, and I really enjoyed that. I think
have you seen the anime?
like it. I feel like I did. It's been so long. But yeah, I definitely I think I watched with my old roommate, and like I really liked it a lot. I think what turned me off like later on from ever like continuing it is because my hands get really sweaty, and I liked playing the game. And sweaty hands in a music game on an iPhone is not a good time.
I see. You may want to consider at some point, if you're looking for, I know you're not looking for a new gacha, but I just introduced Jada All-Stars, and it's much more accessible and less sweaty. Like, it's not nearly as stressful as the original game in terms of gameplay. Consider that if you'd like. Who is your... Wait, do I know your best girl? Why don't we try to guess each other's best
I was about
girls?
to say, okay, like, everyone got on, like, 3. You gotta say your best girl.
Wait, from Muse or Aqua?
I only know Muse.
Okay.
I want to guess. I want to not do 1, 2, 3. Do you know mine in Muse?
I think I do.
Who is it?
I think. Wait, I need a list. I just remember like silhouettes now.
I'm gonna try to guess yours. Oh wait, is this? I'm like, is this the one that? I'm gonna guess yours first. You tell me if I'm right or not. Don't say the answer though. Okay. Is it Nico?
Wait, am I supposed to tell you if you're right or wrong?
Yeah, tell me if I'm right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was like, is this the one that that reminds me of Ash, or the one that I think Ash will actually like? Turns out it's both. Okay.
Nico.
Yeah. Who do you think is mine?
Let's see. I feel like you're You are either Umi or Ellie.
Whoa.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. It's Ellie. It was Umi for years, and now it's Ellie. But oh my god,
yeah.
I just got a love arrow shoot through my heart of just like absolute pegging, like the right one. Oh my god.
I felt it. I was like, it could be Umi. It could be Umi, but I'm like, but also Ellie's was also his jam.
Oh wow.
Wait,
okay.
Ash, do you know mine?
Was it fucking Honoka?
No. But
you get one more guess. One more guess.
I gotta look at all these pictures. I gotta look at all these pictures.
I will say, Ash, I predicted both his Muse one and his Aqua one first try each. And it was funny, like in the beginning he was like, I think it might be this one, but by the end it was absolutely the one that I predicted. Cause yeah, you were like, I like boring main characters. I was like,
I do.
I was like, we'll see. We'll see.
That's tough. I have three ideas, but they're probably all wrong.
Go for which one do you think is your best choice?
Maki.
Yeah, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who are the other two?
Maki.
Dude. Yeah, who are the other two?
Probably Rin and and well, I'm biased because I also like Kotori. So.
Okay.
Rin is absolutely one of them.
Rin is top 4. Because it's Maki, Honoka, Nico, Rin for me. But yeah.
From what I can gather from Jay, it's either gonna be a very Genki and or sassy. Sounds like Maki.
Ash, you need to watch Sunshine at some point because there's a character that's like basically him. Especially as I'm learning more about him in this podcast. About there's one that's just him, and I was like, Jay, I know exactly who your favorite's gonna be, and it's absolutely.
Love to be outed by your friends.
It's great. I'm good to keep going if you guys like. If we have some more shows, just go ahead, pick out the good ones. We'll go through the good ones. Like ones you think would be interesting for the rapid fire.
I can talk about anime all day.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, I can talk about this. So,
same.
What are some other good rapid fire ones?
Mob Psycho, specifically season 2, absolutely 10 out of 10. I think Mob Psycho is a masterful show, but season 2 is just on its whole own tier, and definitely in my top 5 anime of all time. It's just beautiful, and you know, I know everyone loves One Punch Man, and One Punch Man is solid, but Mob has heart.
It's gonna be 100 out of 10 for me, or 100 out of 100. And it's like, I get it, Mob Psycho. So it's like, it takes a lot to pierce the top 10 for me. I think this is in my top 10 though. I do think so. Like animation wise, character wise, especially season 2, incredible. Just season 1, I think, takes a little bit to get started for some people, including myself. Season 2, though, fires on all cylinders all the way. 100 out of 100, must watch.
Yeah, especially the first episode. Like, even if you haven't watched Mob Psych, if you just hop in and season 2, episode 1, that kind of sets the tone for the whole season, and it's really good. I'd heavily, even if you don't really watch anime, give Mob Psycho season 2 a try. They kind of explain everything, how everything goes in the first season.
No, watch season 1. Watch season 1 and watch season 2.
Okay, so watch season 1 and then watch season 2. But season 2 is also pretty good.
Let's see. I know not all of us have seen Chihayafuru, so, or have we? Have all of us seen it?
No, I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, yeah, I'm still in season 3, so.
I'll just say favorite anime of all time. Ash, what's your favorite anime?
Gurren Lagann.
Ah, that's good. All right. And Jay, yours is
Steins Gate.
Oh yeah, you just said it earlier. That's right. Yeah, cool.
Okay, this might be interesting just to talk about. Soul Eater. Now, so Soul Eater, I'm sure at the time was like the coolest fucking shit. And I think it's an interesting concept, and the art is awesome from at least from the manga. Like seeing that mangaka go from ass drawings to like something really stylish and cute. But not a fan of the writing. Not a fan of a lot of the characters. And I like that the anime was a bonus production and it looked nice, but that was pretty much it. Hot Topic the anime.
I tried watching it too late. I mean, I don't think even at the time I would have liked it. But like, when did that come out? Like 2006, 2007?
2000. I want to say 2006. I was in high school when that was coming out.
I watched it later than that, and yeah, I was like, I think I would have liked this if I was 10 or like 12 or something. But no, it's not for me. I like banger openings, some banger ass openings.
Yeah,
and if it weren't Bones animation though, that show would be like a 4. With the animation, it's like a 5, and that's kind of generous, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Soul Eater has this weird place in my heart where I really enjoyed it when I was in high school. But also when I think about it now, it's kind of like if Jack Skellington fans got an anime.
Yeah.
no shade to Nightmare Before Christmas friends, but like, damn, man.
Yeah.
It has a mood.
Yeah.
This person is just asking like our opinions on Satoshi Kon. So I guess what's our favorite Satoshi Kon movies? Or movie?
Millennium Actress is mine. It's one of the most moving, beautiful movies of all time.
For the longest time, it was Tokyo Godfathers for me. But after seeing Millennium Actress for the first time last year, yeah, that was just beautiful.
And you got to see it on the big screen.
I did, yeah, because it came back.
I went to that screening. Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I mean, I went, so I got to experience it, but it's just, oh man. Speaking of movies that make you cry, or things that make you cry, oh, woof.
Yeah,
that ending, woof.
I feel like this is probably one of my anime sins that I've only watched Tokyo Godfathers.
What?
Look, I want to watch them on the big screen.
Why weren't you there at that showing?
When was it?
I think you were busy
2
that
years
week.
ago.
I remember I asked you if you were around, and you had like I think it was like a crunch time for you.
Gotcha. Well, I would say even if you can't see it on the big screen, I would say you gotta watch Millennium Actress. You have to watch it. It is one of the best anime films of all time.
I do have a VR headset, so I can probably just go into the theater mode and be like, nice. I'll turn the AC on.
I mean, if that's what works for you, do that. Like, I think all of his stuff is, Perfect Blue is good. I mean, great. Paprika's probably my least favorite, but it's still very good. Is that it?
Paranoid Agent?
Paranoid Agent's a show, but we're counting. Wait, am I missing a movie?
No, it's just those 4.
Oh, that makes me really sad. But yeah, okay. I would say Millennium Actress is mandatory viewing. The others are you should watch because they're also very good. But as far as just masterpieces, Millennium Actress I think is just exquisite.
Run with the Wind, one of my top favorite anime of all time. Beautiful. If you like Haikyuu, but want to watch something that's like of that same mindset, but with kids in college, Run with the Wind. Go check it out.
Yeah, Jay recommended it to me. I loved it. Again, it does feel like very much like Haikyuu, but it's like a slower, older in terms of age. The character is Haikyuu with, but it's inspiring and it feels a little more relatable, right? Because I'm not a volleyball player. But I could run if I wanted to. I don't, but I could run if I wanted to. And it does make you kind of feel like you want to run. I mean, I ran when pre-pandemic.
Yes.
Not these days. I'm not running much. So yeah, it's fantastic. I really like it a lot.
I almost never even finished it. It's definitely a show I've been wanting to pick up. I remember watching it, but it was really slow in the beginning. But it's definitely something that I want to keep watching, just because even like the cast of characters it's so fresh looking. It's like I want to do that. I want to see this.
Yeah, I mean, Ash showed it to me too, and I'm surprised that like I was like, "Yo, dude, I finished it." And Ash was like, "Yo, I haven't watched it since that last episode we watched together." I was like, "Oh,
This
fuck."
doesn't surprise me in the slightest. FMA collection sitting behind you.
Yeah, it looks so good in that box.
Wow.
It's almost like it doesn't want to be opened or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it and give it to somebody who deserves it. Anything else, Jay?
Yo, okay. What if you lived in Naruto world? What village would you be from?
Are we seriously gonna end on this note? You guys go first. I gotta think.
Cloud Village, easy. They're lean back, they're fun, they have a strong military force, sure, but who, I mean, the world's in war, but there seems to be a lot of creative freedom in there from all the characters we met, and they all live in the mountains. It's neat.
Oh wait, this is all like in Shippuden, right? Like they go through all the villages.
There's some in the pre-time skip.
Oh.
There's like sand and that's it. Like leaf, sand, oh whatever. What about you, Ash?
Was music the fake line?
Sound.
Oh, sound was like
Orochimaru's like
dungeon
City Village or whatever.
Yeah.
Look, man, I was a very simple teen, alright? I'm like, I've been banned music note. Sick.
I guess my question is, Jay, you're the Naruto expert.
Sure.
Which village do you think I would be from?
Oh man.
Because I don't know them well enough to answer this question.
I would say it's a toss up between Cloud and Leaf. But to be honest, I think Leaf is like basic bitch village. So
yeah, I was like, don't put me in the fucking Leaf village. All right, so you and me are just hanging out in the Cloud village.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Ash is getting turned into like a zombie or whatever by Orochimaru.
Hell yeah.
I guess that fits. I could see that. God, are we really ending on this?
We can talk about something else. Hey man, I didn't.
There is one you could end on that seems kind of like an actual topic.
Yeah. What's an actual topic?
What was it? What was it? Hold on. Wait. I just saw it. Fuck. Something about isekais. Exactly. Hold on. Wait. Control F.
Are you just trying to look at what's gonna be the thing someone hates talking about them? Okay, Naruto villages, isekai. What the fuck is next? No game, no life. Angel beats. Like
someone did mention Angel beats, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out that.
Angel beats sucks.
Sorry, one person.
No offense.
I think it was like, what it says one of the best isekai anime series of all time, but let's switch it to like what is an isekai you actually enjoy?
I can't think of one.
Have you never seen The Devil's a Part-Timer?
No.
I think you might like that one. That one's actually really fun.
Okay. What are your guys' answers?
Probably that. The Devil's a Part-Timer.
I don't know. I have to think about it for a bit.
I can't. There must be one, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's like, maybe it's like I can't like if it's technically you don't think of it as one. Let me look at my list of.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at a list of isekai anime.
I mean, people are like being to me like, Disney's Peter Pan is an isekai. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's technically true. I
mean, Spirit Away is in the isekai. I don't know if that's my favorite.
I guess that's my favorite then, because it's the only one I can think of, because that is an isekai.
Damn, I was like thinking of like TV shows.
Then if it's TV shows, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is it's like, yeah, it is kind of like an isekai.
Yeah.
To our world. So I guess that's my answer then, even though it's really just a slice of life.
You should definitely watch Devil's a Part-Timer, because that's basically reverse isekai. It's like very similar in that sense.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm looking at like a list and I don't like any of these.
That's because isekai sucks.
Yeah, it's just again, like being transported to another world is one thing, but like especially when it's like high fantasy, like for me, when it's like kingdoms and knights and witches. Although I love Little Witch. Wait, does Little Witch count?
No.
No, because everyone
knows magic. Yeah.
They know.
Okay.
They know of magic.
I love Little Witch.
About?
No, because the first episode, Akko.
Wait, were you the one who was arguing that Harry Potter was an isekai?
I'm gonna cut this out.
I'm sorry. Wait, was that
me?
you?
I forget.
Okay. This is what we're gonna finish on.
No, we're not. No, we're not finishing on this.
Yes, we are.
No,
yes,
we're not.
We are.
Because I don't believe that anymore. Okay, you guys have, you guys have, persuaded me over. Okay. Let's talk about something else.
No, we're absolutely okay. Back when this was a while back, Jay was like, "No, Harry Potter's absolutely an isekai," and it's not at all, because the whole point of an isekai is you get transported to a different dimension, right, or different universe. Harry Potter does not get transported to a different realm. It's a different culture. It's like a hidden culture, but it's not literally a different universe. I'm just gonna say. But it seems that you are defeated on this note, so I guess I'll let it slide. I'm glad you finally have learned that it's not an isekai. Jay's like, I'm editing all this out.
I'm totally, unless we figure out something, if we find something else.
Oh no, executive note.
You gotta leave this in. Hey, I'm telling you right now, you gotta leave it in.
Oh my god.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, no, we all make mistakes. I mean, I don't, but the rest of us.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you make mistakes. It's fine.
Yeah. Sometimes you Naruto run in gym class, and sometimes you think Harry Potter's an isekai. Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can just Chidori your way out of it.
Oh my god. Let's just end, because I'm gonna have you guys back on at some point, especially if we want to talk. I mean, clearly this is gonna be, I think, the longest episode there's ever been, and on the podcast so far, and I can tell we can keep going. So why don't we just finish off with, what are your top 5 anime? Top 5, and I'll go first to give you guys some time. I believe my top 5 would be, not necessarily in this order, but I'm going to say Chihaya is top, Monster, Mushishi, let's say Cowboy Bebop. Man, Silver Spoon's really been climbing, but that's kind of based off the manga. Yo, Sound Euphonium, though, it's climbing up on a rewatch. Like, it may, I think that's absolutely in the top 10. I'm going to do my top 10, I think. You don't have to do top 10, you can do top 5. Bebop, Silver Spoon, Gurren Lagann, Mob Psycho, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Shirobako, and I think Sound Euphonium is at least number 10, if not higher. Like, this always shifts over time. I think Kobayashi's going to climb up as well a little bit, but I don't think it's going to pierce the top 10. How about you guys? You got your top 5s?
Yeah, I just looked at, like, from our past conversation back in May.
Okay. What do you got?
Not in any order, except Gurren Lagann will always be on top. So it's definitely Gurren Lagann, Madoka, Ping Pong.
Yeah, nice.
Ooh.
Eccentric Family, and Prison School.
Prison School.
Eccentric Family. I think I need to. I don't know if I finished that one. I wasn't super into it, but I think it's a good choice. Like, I respect it. And did you like the second season as much?
I haven't actually finished the second season. This is me going off the first season.
I see.
I like it a lot. So, and yeah.
I should go back and watch watch the first season all the way through. How about you, Jay? You got your 5?
I mentioned earlier Steins Gate, Mob Psycho 2, Haikyuu, Run with the Wind, and Violet Evergarden.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, lackluster.
Oh my god, you guys are rude.
Like, I just pointed it out. I didn't say anything.
Oh man, it makes me sad no one likes Violet Evergarden.
I liked it fine. I think for me, it's like a 7.5. I think it's good, but it's...
It's KyoAni. It's your fave.
It's KyoAni, but it's a little melodramatic.
I love my melodrama. You know I love that shit.
No, I know you love your melodrama. Like, I mean, I like the show, and I should watch the movies or whatever I haven't seen, but no. I think that's a good top 5. I think that's a very you top 5. Fuck. I'm like, we could keep going, but I think we should cut it here. I think I'll just have you back on for another anime. I mean, we gotta do like one about anime openings, right?
Hell yeah.
Like, I would love to have you both on. But before we leave, where can people find you? Let's start with you, Ash.
You can find me at on the twitter.com under at oni_hat, or just look up oni hat. You should find, or you can just go watch like Craig of the Creek and be like, find the Elder episode. You'll probably find me there. That's probably the easiest way to find me.
And watch Craig of the Creek. It's fucking great. How about you, Jay?
You can find me on Twitter at JAYPERIOR. Like the word superior, but my name. It's a pun. And yeah.
It's not even really
What?
a pun. It's a weak
What's
pun,
wrong?
I'll say. A weak pun.
Well, so many people like read it like it's like a French last name or something, and then they find out I'm not French, I'm Korean, and they're like, oh,
JAYPERIOR.
yeah, oh, JAYPERIOR or some shit like.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm just like, dude, it's like, I'm like, it's one of your damn words. like, but
Hello, JAYPERIOR. Okay. But yeah, thank you, Weebs. I appreciate this. We talked like 2 hours about fucking anime, but that's to be expected, huh? All right. See you. Sayonara.
oh god.
No. Bye, Inara.
Bye.
Bye.
Jay and Nara.